Good morning, students. Today we will continue to discuss the chapter Money and Banking. So, the first topic today that we will discuss is your functions of money. So, the primary functions of money. Okay, the first is your money perform the function of medium of exchange. Okay, now as you all know that in the barter system, okay, barter system is where goods are directly exchanged for goods. Okay, suppose if I have rice and if you have wheat, then I will give you rice and you will in exchange you will give me wheat. Okay, that is the barter system. Now in the barter system there one major problem that was faced, that is your lack of double coincidence of wants. Yes, where if the wants, okay, if suppose if I have rice and you have wheat, okay, and if I tell you that you give me wheat and in exchange I will give you rice, yes, and if you are not ready to accept my commodity, that means my rice, okay, then what will happen, the exchange will not be possible. Okay, so that is the lack of double coincidence of one. Okay, now because of that the barter system did not work smoothly. Yes, now after the introduction of money, okay, this problem of double lack of double coincidence of one, it automatically it got solved out. How? Here after the coming of money, okay, our transaction has been divided into two parts. Okay, first suppose I have rice, okay, and you have suppose wheat, and you are not ready to exchange your wheat with my rice, okay, but I need wheat. Yes, now after the coming of money, what has happened, I will sell my rice in the market. Okay, that is the first transaction, and whatever money I will earn, okay, after selling my rice, with that money I will purchase wheat. Okay, so that is the second transaction. First transaction is what? When I will sell my commodity, my rice or whatever, okay, in the market. That is the first transaction. Second transaction, when I will purchase, okay, whatever with my money, whatever I have earned after the selling of rice, with that money, when I will purchase or I will buy wheat. Okay, that is the second transaction. So money, it is acting as a medium of exchange because I am using my money to exchange other goods. Okay, so that is the first and foremost function of money. Okay, it acts, money acts as a medium of exchange. Yes, and with this function it has solved the problem of lack of double coincidence of wants, which was there in the barter system. Okay, now the second function is what? You see, money acts as a standard of values of goods and standard of measurement of values. Okay, measurement of values of goods and services. That means what? In the barter system, okay, one problem was that we did not had a common measure, okay, with which we could measure the values of goods and services. Yes, so in this money economy, or with the introduction of money, what has happened, every good, okay, all goods, all services, okay, it has a monetary value, okay, that we call as your rupees. Yes, the monetary unit is known as your rupees. Yes, now every good, okay, take for example your copies, your books, everything, okay, all this has a price. Yes or no? Has a price value. Yes, that is, that means we are using money, okay, because the price that is expressed in terms of what? Rupees. Yes, now rupees is the money. Yes, so that means what? We are using money for measuring the value of every goods and services. Okay, and that monetary unit is known as your price. Okay, so that is money, it acts as a standard, okay, a measure with which we can know what is the value of a particular good or a particular service. Every service, okay, if a teacher is providing you a service, okay, or if a doctor is providing you any kind of service, then that also has a monetary value, okay, and that is shown by its price. Then the secondary functions of money, you see, the first is your money acts as a standard of deferred payment. Okay, now what are these deferred payments? Means what? Deferred payments, the future payments, okay, the payments which are to be made in a later day, later on, not now. Okay, suppose if I've taken a 1000 rupees from you, okay, as a loan, then I will repay it later on at some future date. Okay, or if I have purchased some goods from a seller, if I have purchased some goods and the bill amount is suppose 10,000, okay, and I have purchased that on credit, that means on udhar, what we call, okay, on credit, that is again that payment I will make in future. So those kind of payments, okay, taking loan or purchasing commodities on credit, okay, those are called as your deferred payments. That means payments which are to be made in future date. Okay, so all those kind of deferred payments, okay, payments which are to be made in future, those are expressed, okay, the bill amount is expressed in terms of your money. Okay, that is money, it acts as a standard of deferred payments. Okay, then the next is, you see, money functions as a store of value. Okay, again in the barter system, if you can recall that some kind of your commodities, mainly those which are perishable in nature, okay, we could not, or we were unable to store it for a long time. Yes, for example, your vegetables, yes, then your all the dairy products, yes, or we could not, or we were unable to store it for a longer time duration. So that was a problem in that system. Now with the introduction of money, and one more important characteristic of money is what? It is durability. Yes, now because of that we can easily store our money for future. Okay, the saving that we do in the banks, okay, that is what? Store of value, means all our wealth, okay, or value we can store in the form of money. Okay, next, you see, next topic, that is types or classification of money. Okay, so money in broad sense, meaning there are two categories have been made. First is a money of account and next is a money proper. Okay, so money of account is basically a concept, an idea. Okay, and money, it does not change. Okay, it does not, that money of account, it does not change. And money proper, okay, that means the various stages, as we all know, yes, many commodity money, it has not come all of a sudden. Okay, before that there were various other stages also. In the evolution part we have discussed, it's not there. So that is money proper. Okay, one time in barter the commodities, okay, goods were used as money. Okay, that means commodity money were the money proper at that time. Now paper money or coins are used, so that paper money or currency, that is the money proper now. Okay, so that money proper, it keeps on changing, but money of account, it does not change. Okay, one example you can take, for example, the office of the chief minister or office of the prime minister, it is money of account, that does not change. Okay, but the person, okay, the prime ministers or the chief ministers, they keep on changing, so that is your money proper. Okay, so you see, money proper changes its form from time to time. Commodity money, animal money. Okay, commodity money during the barter system, since commodity was used or goods were used as money, so it was the money proper at that time. Then during an animal standard, okay, animal were used as money, so yeah, that was the money proper. Okay, metallic. Okay, during metallic, when metals were used or coins which were made of metals, okay, these were used, and metallic money it was. Okay, then now the paper currency notes, okay, or coins, these are used as your money proper. Okay, so these, that means the money proper, it keeps on changing, but the money of account, it does not, it remains same. Okay, so now you see, first was a commodity money. Okay, now commodity money means what? In the barter system, those goods, okay, which were used as for direct exchange, okay, that is basically your commodity money. For example, if I have rice and if you have fish, okay, and if I'm giving you my rice and if you are giving me fish in exchange, that those commodities were used as money, that is called commodity money. Next, animal money. Okay, animal money means what? And in animal standard, as we all know, that some animals, mainly your goats, okay, these were used to make payment for any kind of a transaction. Okay, so though that time when animals were used, mainly goats, okay, that is the animal money. Okay, especially goat was used. Okay, so that goat was the medium of exchange at that time. Then is a metallic money. Okay, metallic money, that means gold. Okay, some precious metals like gold or silver. Okay, these were used as a medium of exchange. It means for any kind of a transaction, payment of any kind of a transaction. Then comes your paper money, that is the current money, the monetary system that we are using. Paper money, all the currency notes. Okay, so paper money has replaced the metallic money as it is easy to carry. So in metallic standard also, in the metallic money some problems were there. Okay, like for example, we could not recognize which one is the fake gold or fake silver, or which one is the original gold or original silver. Okay, that was a problem of identification. Then it was difficult to carry the golds or precious metals, gold or silver, from one place to another. Yes, so that because of some problems, the metallic standard it ultimately collapsed, and your paper money came into existence. Yes, now paper money, that is the current stage. Okay, this currency that we are using now. Paper money, first it was representative paper money. Okay, at the beginning it was the representative paper money. Now representative means what? The money, it was equivalent, the money used to represent, okay, an equivalent value of gold or silver. Okay, for example, suppose 1000 rupees, 1000 is equal to 1 gram of gold. That means this 1000 rupees, it is representing 1 gram of gold. You can convert this 1000 rupees into 1 gram of gold. That is called a representative paper money or convertible paper money. Okay, then the money was non-representative. That means it was no longer required to convert money into any kind of gold or silver. It was not required. So that is called your non-representative. That means money, it was not representing any value of gold or silver. That is called non-representative or inconvertible paper money. So remember these two. Then next is your legal tendered money. Okay, so legal tendered money means what? When a particular medium, okay, it is accepted as anything, it is accepted as by everybody. That means it has general acceptance, general acceptability. Okay, as a medium of exchange, means for purchasing any goods and services. Okay, and also it has been supported by the what? The law of land. That means the government, the authority. Okay, it has approved that particular currency or that particular thing, anything. Okay, today it is the currency and coin. So that has been approved by the, or it has got the support from the law of land. Okay, that is called a legal tendered money. Okay, so what we can say, the when general acceptability of money as a medium of exchange. That means when everybody accepts, okay, money as for their exchange, for their purchases of goods or services. Okay, and again it is supported by the law of land. It is the government, it has got the approval of the government, it has got approval of the law. Okay, that is called legal tendered money. Legal means law of land. That has got approval from the law of land. Okay, now again legal tender money, there are two types. Okay, first is a limited legal tender money, and another is an unlimited legal tender money. So limited means what? Limited means those especially your coins, okay, which are used for payment of low value transactions. Okay, for example, if you have to pay somebody 1 crore rupees, then you will never, or we never use 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin or 5 rupee coin to make payment for 1 crore. It's not it. That means that coins, okay, it has a limited value of transaction. That is called limited legal tender money. Okay, for payments for only low value transactions. Yes, coins especially. Then is your unlimited legal tender money. Unlimited means which are used for making high value transaction. Okay, for example, 500 rupees note or 200 rupees note, 100 rupees note, all these are unlimited. You can make payments of high value transaction. It is called unlimited legal tender money. Okay, so you try to find out the differences between these two: limited legal tender money and unlimited legal tender money. Okay.